Hello, everyone, and welcome to Avini Vibes. I go back and I listen to these recordings, and I don't know about you, but I don't like my own voice when I hear it, right? You hear that, oh my goodness. I'm originally from New Jersey. My name is Christine Rolando. It says New York. I live right over the border from northern New Jersey. I could be in both states at the same time because that's where our house resides, right on the border. But I just want to welcome you to the call. We're so blessed to be here tonight with the most amazing company, amazing products, and second to none leadership. And I'm telling you, leadership is second to none. We're so fortunate that we're here tonight. And I can see people climbing into the call and more people percolating every week. If you're a guest, you're very special. Someone thinks very highly of you to invite you tonight to listen in. Because, the thing about Avini, it's not only the brightest people and the brightest leadership and the best products, but it's smartest people. Smartest people come to this company, and that's what it is. Many of us are retired. I'm retired 30 years from a not-for-profit director. But what's amazing is that I retired to something, not from something, because my sponsor, Eddie Kowalski, couldn't be happier than ever that he shared this with me. You can't just stop doing stuff when you're such a busy person. So we're here to learn, to teach, to educate. We learn from one another. We don't make any medical claims. We don't diagnose or we don't treat. And I forgot to say the date, when I listened to the recording, I forgot to say the date last week. So it's Thursday, October 16th, 2025. And I'm very grateful. I'm still out in the woods. I'm still at the house. The people still in Italy. And I'm at the 155-acre farm with the cows, the alpaca, the sheep, and the three little dogs. It's really fun. And you know what made me realize, like, the value of this type of business? You can do this anywhere. You can do this from out in the woods in Warwick, New York, or you can be in Haiti, or you can be in any country in the world, and you can be working off, right, Carol? But
Mhm.
before we move on, I just want to recognize Carol Witt. Carol is an amazing person. And we all love and know her. And her skin gets brighter each week as she uses nano silver. But Carol just got an amazing award for her philanthropic love for people. So, Carol, we just want to be grateful for what you do. And look at this, you're bringing people from all over the world, all the way from Haiti. We have Beasley here. Like, we're changing the world, and all through people, one by one, as a person like Carol Wick. Carol, congratulations. Tell them
Thank,
about your award that you got.
thank you. It's a humanitarian award that I got for 2025, and it's for all of the work that I do with YEA. And by the way, we just went into 77 countries. Australia just came on board, so yes. So yeah,
It's a force to be reckoned with, for sure, Carol.
thank
And
you.
I remember when you started
I
it,
know.
and I went through health as a student, and it's just life changing. It's changing just like a Avini. So, there's a common denominator there. So God bless you, Carol, for all you do, always being here as a tech person. But with that said, in light of time, I want to give the floor to our guest. Where is he? I don't see him. Oh, there he is, Dave Gilday. Wow, he's a powerhouse too. That's what I said. There's special people on this call tonight, and Dave Gilday, I got an opportunity to teach an MST with him. And value, Dave. Come on board and tell us all about what you learned at the conference. And I could listen to you all day long. So, Dave, join us, please, all the
Well,
way
thank you.
where are you from?
My name's Dave Gilday. Where I'm from is my mom, but I currently reside in Tennessee. I was impressed when Carol said, and she was so excited about it. 77 countries. Carol, I want to tell you, that is so neat that you were impressed that you were impressed with that and passionate about that and that award. I would just want to tell you, great job.
Thank
And then
you.
the rest of us, all of us, I want to say that's Avini's future. There's going to be one of these times when Neil will say, "So we've hit our 77th country." I hope I'm alive to see that. But that's our future. That's the plans to go international, worldwide, because who doesn't need the technologies that we have? And the answer is everyone. So I was asked to kind of give a little synopsis on the open house. I'm sorry, the regional Nashville summit that just happened a couple of weeks ago. And I was going to start with the open house. That was on Friday night. That was neat. Now I live about 80 miles east of Nashville. And so I went ahead and drove there with a couple of distributors, and it was just really fun. They had great snacks, shrimp and this kind of stuff, and it was fun. And then there were just a bunch of people there, and that was so neat. Plus our leaders. It is so amazing that our leaders are right there. If you want to talk to Neil, the CEO, he's right there. If you want to talk to Ricky, he's right there. And so you just can go up and talk. Mickey, our senior vice president, it was just really, now here's why I say that. I've been around with bigger companies, and there'll be a time when you won't be able to do that. I was with Legal Shield and made a six-figure income, but I could never even talk to the CEO guy. Okay, I mean I could see him from a distance, but we're at a different place, and it's a pretty exciting time, really. Well, so at the summit the next morning, Anil did a welcome. Rick did his products throughout the day. He did the products. Introduced a new vanilla. That is, I'll tell you the exciting part about that. They were going to come out with strawberry, but he couldn't figure out how to do it and make it look good. No, taste good. And so came out with vanilla. Well, that was the next best because you can mix with vanilla everything, right? We have now unlimited flavors. I really like that. I think it serves us better because you can mix blueberries and strawberries and whatever you want in the vanilla and make different flavors. So, and the vanilla all by itself, they had samples there, was really good. So I just got my first order of vanilla in today. So that's kind of a neat thing. So we were excited about that. We had a number of diamonds there. Tony Abeda was there, and she talked about managing your monthly business, your timeline. Paige Wolf was there, another one of our wonderful diamonds, and she talked about crafting our story and how important our story was to create emotion, vision, and hope for people. And those were really good. There were the new intro videos. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but they're just amazing. They're on the app, so you can get them from there. If you haven't seen them, for sure, there's two of them that are 2 minutes long or thereabouts. One has a Vini, one doesn't. Just depends on your style, whether you want them to, whether you want the name of the company or not the name of the company. They're designed for intro. What I really like about them, am I talking too slow? And so what I like about them is the fact that they're balanced. They have our technologies. Now, 2 minutes, you can't do a lot, but in 2 minutes, we have our technologies and we also have the company, the business. And so that's the best approach because you're never sure where a person really wants to come from. I wanted
Dave,
go. Yes.
I want to stop you just 1 minute. Did someone put something in on my phone? The video that you're referring to, which video is that?
There
The
are
non-company video?
two new intro videos that have come out. Mickey did them. They're only 2 minutes long, and they're excellent. They take a person from point A to Z. I don't know how about how you guys, but I've done a lot of outreach to over 100, more than 100 people, and I had a hard time getting them to watch our links sometimes, with 20 minutes or this or that. But these are 2 minutes. No one has an excuse about 2 minutes. Okay. So that's neat. And he's done two of those. They're on the apps. Look for under Mickey, and you can find them there. And they're excellent, and they're designed for introduction. You see a person. He suggests, and I love this, he suggests that when you're in front of a person, they say, well, what do? You say, well, do you have 2 minutes? Well, yeah. And you show them the video right there. It's 2 minutes long, and they'll know what you do. So that's kind of it's an easy way to outreach, to find out. MJ Durkin says, we're looking for people who are looking. We're not in the convincing game. We're in the sorting game. And these are great sorters. So if you haven't seen them yet, go to the app and you can take a look at them. Also on avinihealthtraining.com, he has put there's a new item under MJ's training. So you go down to hit MJ's training. It's called Fast Track Plan and Videos. The first 4 minutes are the two videos. And then he tells you how to do it. He says this is what we call our fast track plan. And he goes through how to do that, how to be able to outreach quicker, how to get people interested. Well, actually, outreach. The interest is up to them, right? But until you talk to them, then you have no idea where it is. So that's neat. I love the fact that our company is like the Titanic. We're turning directions and we're becoming more balanced. So it's not just all about the product, because that gets us customers, whether they're wholesale customers or not, gets us customers, but also about the business. I wanted to just mention to you a little bit. You probably know this, but the foundation of Avini, the thing that will make this, that's a lifetime company. Person in any age can stay for a lifetime. Now I'm 69, so I don't have a lot of lifetime, okay? But there's others who are much younger and they can go for a lifetime too. It's because our technologies are disrupting, enhancing, and advanced. That's why. So this foundation is for sure solid, okay? But make no mistake about it. What drives our business, what drives the growth of our business is the money. It's the business, folks. That's what drives it. Now, we've done pretty good. We're debt free and all that, but we're plodding along. And the idea is let's drive it. And it's the opportunity that drives. Foundation will keep us there forever, but the opportunity is what drives. So just depends on what you want and what your goals and dreams are. But we have both. We have great money opportunities, great driver, and of course we have that foundation I talked about. Okay, just imagine we have this business. I don't know if you've thought about this. We have a business with no income ceiling. Try and give me another business that's like that, where you can go and there's no ceiling on your income. I have a personal goal in 5 years to be $1 million a year earner. That's $83,334 a month. Okay. Why? That's black executive diamond. Okay. That's what that is. So I know exactly where I'm going. And the deal is I can get there. So can you. You can hit any goal that you choose to do. Okay. So, we have two types of income. You guys, you know about the residual income. Residual means you do something one time and it pays over and over and over. Okay. We call that our auto ships. By auto ship, now I'm not a really big business, but by auto ship on the 11th, I had about 41,000 in volume. Okay. Now that compared to chip, that's such minuscule amount, but it's still okay because it earned me in our marketing plan $3,250 for just on the 11th of the month. And what did I do for it? Sat there and watched the numbers every day. Okay, that's called residual income. But we have an opportunity to build even better than that, right? We have what's called reproductive residual income. There's no business I know that builds that. You can't be in the rental game, in the finance game and have reproductive residual, but we have it. What's that about? That's about the idea that we can bring people in our business. They can become leaders. Those leaders go out and drive the business through the opportunity, both balanced. Whoops. Both balance, meaning product and business, okay? They can drive that, and we earn income from their reproducing. Now that's way beyond just one time, and it's called reproductive residual income. That's an amazing concept that other businesses just don't have, but we do. Okay, so when Mickey, I had a session I had a 20-minute talk. And when he called me, I said, well, what do you want me to talk on? He said, can you talk about outreaching? I said, I can. I qualify. I outreach. I even know what the word means. And so he asked if I could do that. So I'd like to share some concepts and ideas with you about outreaching. So let me get my Word document up here and then move it to the right page. There we go. Okay. So we're talking about outreaching. What does that mean? It means outreaching and telling people about what we have. The suggestion is we do it with a balanced approach. What does that mean? It means that you don't just go after people who have hurts. We can help that. but there's a lot of different ways. So let me keep track of my time here. Okay. Okay, we're good.
So you have plenty of time.
Okay. All right, good. So the idea is that we develop a strong directory of dreamers. That's your list. Okay. Build it daily. Build your list daily. How do we do that? Well, let's start with the phone. So most of you have phones. And a lot of you, if you were to look, have maybe three, four, 500. I think I had 1,000 people on my phone. Okay, I was a business guy. But you have a number of people on your phone. Do you know that we have a way to send audios to people in their text? We have a way to send videos in their text. Now, if you've been on MJ's Durkin's program, which I might as well take a minute and just plug that. Both Christine and I have been in that program, and it's amazing. Now I've been through twice at the same time. Evidently, if you don't do good the first time, they have you go a second time. And so I did that, and finally I've got it.
I'm gonna
It
do
took
three
a
times.
couple. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But some people are a lot faster than that. But the deal is we have, and Christine can help you. Your leaders can help you. We have audios we can send out. We have videos. They are so easy to do. Your phone has everything in it. You might have to get an app for the audio, but your phone has the video capacity right now to be able to do that. And you've got all those people. So the question I have is, have you approached the people on your phone? And if not, then make sure you get with Christine if you're on her team and wherever, and say, how can I do that? It's an easy way. So have I done that? I have. I was a member of an organization called BNI, Business Networking International. And I'm no longer a member. I was there for 10 years, but I'm not anymore. But I went ahead and created an audio, and their BNI chapters are on the web. So I went ahead and just sent this audio to a number of BNI. I forget. I think I did 60 or 100, and I got 5 people that responded back and said, "Hey, tell me more." So that's cool. Okay. So you've got your phone. You've got organizations you're a part of, churches, business groups, charities. There's people there. And folks, we have scripts. We're going to talk about that in a second. But we have scripts that are easy. I'll read some of my scripts here in just a minute. Get them out here. All right. So we've got that. So who do you know that's a member of a church, a business group, a charity, organization you go to? Those are a great place to start. Daily interactions. Get names from every business you visit. So I went to Walgreens. I needed something. I couldn't find it. I asked the guy, he was the manager. He comes and he shows me the stuff. His name was James. So I went ahead and called James back that day. I got his name. I called him back that day. Why? Because I knew where he worked. He was at Walgreens. So I gave him a call and I told him who I was. I was really impressed how he serviced me, and that we could use people with his skills in our business. And would he take a 3-minute link? And he did. Now, he didn't get in with me, but it doesn't matter. My job is outreach, and he went ahead and said yes. That's daily interactions, getting names of people you're with. Now, some people, sharp people, go ahead and they build relationships. Good job. I can build relationships, but my personal is to go quicker. But you'll hear all the time, and it's the truth, is to build relationship, find out what their wants and needs are. Maybe approach them there, or I'm better on the phone. I like doing it on the phone. It's just my own style, but you can use your style. It doesn't matter. Service providers, people you do business with. We had an HVAC guy come out, and he came out, and while he was putting away his stuff in his truck, I went ahead and talked to him, and I asked him, "Have you ever wanted to be in business for yourself?" He says, "I always wanted to, but I could just never make it work." Or actually, what he said was, "I've been in business, but it didn't work out that well for me." And I said, "What if I could show you a business that could work out? Would you be interested in taking a look?" So he took my link. That was a service provider. Okay. Facebook, you can do the same things that you do with the phone. You know, now our company, and I agree with it, don't recommend that you post and that, other than maybe a general story. But direct messenger, folks, is amazing. Did you know that you can friend up to 20 people a day? Up to 20 people a day. So I try to do about 15 new people a day. And then you can direct message them. We have scripts for that where you can direct message. So you can keep putting people in and send out direct messages and let them get back with you and say, hey, what are you talking about? Or this is interesting. We now have a 2-minute tool. Are you with me? You can send a 2-minute tool out. Or better yet, even is to send a video. And we've got some great scripts. Christine has those scripts. Collect business cards. This is interesting. So I've got some business cards here that we just collected. It just go. So I have a script. I did a little different deal. I have what I call an important person script. I have a doctor who's in my business, and she's in California. And she's actually building the business, but because she's a doctor, she's pretty busy. So I got permission. She sent me business cards that she has collected. So she sends, and so I use a script now, and I'll read that script. It's hi, my name's Dave Gilday. Dr. Charlene Middle gave me your card and asked me to give you a call. Now I have her permission to do that. And they perk up because a doctor was introduced. I put Dr. Charlene as part of a natural health network, expanding in this case into Riverside and San Bernardino counties. She believes because of your experience, because of a card, because of your experience, you can help us expand and create a significant revenue stream without conflicting with what you're currently doing. Would you be willing to listen to a 3-minute text link to see if this might fit you? Folks, that's it. Most will say, yeah, 3 minutes, come on. And if they do say 3 minutes, I say, hey, you got 3 minutes right now? And if they say yes, I said, why don't you do it? And I'll text you in 8 minutes. And if there's interest, we'll move forward. If not, we'll just say some kind words right now and we'll be done. Does that sound fair? It works well. So we have scripts. If you want to, we have those. Okay. Collect business cards all over. Now that's what she does. She goes every place and she just collects cards. Where did I go? Where I just collected cards. I just collected a bunch of cards from someplace. Anyway, wherever it was, there were 15 cards there, and I took 15 cards. And then you've got Google categories. Now that's like endless. I'll tell you what we're doing right now. I want to make a plug for Boca Raton. So just for a moment, I'm going to go ahead and digress. This event, the Nashville event. Now I went to Summit. This Nashville event really spruced me up. I mean, it really invigorated me. Okay, today I called 14 people in the Google categories. I signed up for $4.99. I mean, I'm invigorated because I went to that event. I recommend you take a choice and come to Boca. Many of you may be coming to Boca. I just got my tickets. Now I live in Tennessee, Boca Raton, and my ticket was $95. Now, if you're on the East Coast, it's still not going to be a lot. Okay. And
84.
Say it again.
$84.
And there you go. And if you talk to them nice, they'll even take you home. So, I mean, it's really cool. All right. So we've got that. So Boca Raton should be a must. The hotels are less than the Nashville one. I thought that was pretty impressive. And it'll just do so much for your vision. These create vision, hope, and belief. That's what builds. That's what builds a business. Well, Google categories. I'll tell you a story. So the deal is, we are calling, me and a couple of teammates, we're calling realtors down in Boca Raton. Those realtors we happen to know because we looked it up are not doing so good. And so we called and we have a script. I'll read you my script. Hi, my name's Dave Gilday. I'm a recruiter for a natural health network. We're expanding into Palm Beach County. We have found that realtors can make an additional revenue stream without conflicting with us, or without conflicting with what you're currently doing very easily. Would you be willing to listen to a 3-minute text link to see if this might fit you? That's it. That's all I do. Doesn't take very long. And you know how many Google categories are? Now watch this. See if you can count. And multiply that by 1,000. Okay.
7,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of Google categories, And so we one real estate company, just one, 777 names. Another one, 2,000 names just in those 2 counties. So here's the deal. The deal is we have scripts. we recommend you practice them. I like to say, get it down cold so you can deliver it hot. Okay. And and your future is really yours. There are millions of people who don't have a clue. We have scripts, we have phones, and we've got a business that's killer. They need not just our technologies, they need what we have from a financial standpoint also. Plus the connections. This company, I love Avini. They are such a family. I brought a guy that I brought to Summit, and he told me when we were leaving on Saturday, he said, Dave, I felt like I was with family. He
Aw.
said, people knew me from when he went to Summit. He said, I feel like and that's what we build. We build, help people's health, we help people's finances, and we build connectivity. We help people to feel like they're important and they belong to somebody. And that, my folks, is Avini. That's all I have.
Question. I have a question. You started with a vision for yourself and you came up with the number, and that was a big number because it was the black diamond. Why is that important to see the vision or to remember our dreams? Like as we age, a lot of people forget about their dreams. I had a conversation with someone recently and I said, what are your dreams? And they said, well, I don't have any more dreams. It's over. I was like, oh my God, that's pretty sad. But why is it important for us to see our dreams and see if you go through MST, the mental success track training that we go through with the value of what they offer us is amazing. But can you just kind of answer that question? Why is it important for us to see that every day of what we need or what we want or what we desire?
Now, all of you know that Christine knows the answer and she lives it, but she's asking for a third party to give another opinion, okay? So here's that opinion. I'll give you a story with Gabe. I talked to Gabe today. Gabe's 21. He's never done a cold call in his life. It scares him to death, okay? But he made three calls today under the direction of his grandpa. He made three calls. And the first one, he said he couldn't breathe when he did the first one. I can relate. It's scary sometimes. But he said the other two weren't so bad. Now here's what I told Gabe. I said, Gabe, to be able to continue, you've got to have what it is you want in front of you to drive you to overcome the fear. You have to have something that's more important than the fear so that you will act. Okay. So that's one thing. And that's what dreams can do. There's two things that motivate us: inspiration and desperation. Now, there's one I like better, but to be frank, desperation drives more people than inspiration. But we can do inspiration. We can have what it is that we want to have, do, or be. And another point to this is a good time to talk about the law of the lid. You all know what the law of the lid is, right? The law of the lid says this. It says that our income is commensurate with our personal development. However personally developed we are is what our income will allow us to be. Now, you say, that sounds hokey. Well, let me give you a fact. Did you know that 77% of people who win lotteries lose all of their money in 5 years? What's that? The law of the lid. We need, all of us have the law of the lid. We have something that keeps us down. MST, Mental Success Tracks, MJ's program, is designed to lift the law of the lid so you don't have to have that on there. So those are the two answers I have.
Well, it's interesting also because I love to read. Although, who has time to read these days? It comes at us so fast. When's the last time anybody read a book, to sit down and really stay focused? Not easy, but being out here in the 155-acre farm with the animals, I picked up this amazing book and I'm reading it. And one of the things today's chapter, Dave, and we didn't plan this, is the six symptoms of fear. That's what it is, and fear. So I'm going to ask our group tonight, let's all step out with what Dave just shared with us tonight and face what's fearful. The phone, how much does that phone weigh? Too many pounds, right? Dave Gilday is not shy to pick up the phone. And, maybe you are, but one of the things that I know a lot of people struggle with is perfectionism. This is the topic today. She says, perfectionism is another symptom of fear that stops us from moving forward. When you refuse to take action until something is perfect, then you will never press go because perfect doesn't exist. And, my husband went through 10 surgeries, going to have 11 surgery coming up November 21st. And that's one of the things his surgeon said the other day is like, we strive for perfection, but there comes a point when you have to move forward. So with everything Dave said tonight, we don't have to be perfect. We just have to use the tools that this company has available to us. Wouldn't you agree, Dave?
Oh yeah, yeah. Repetition and reinforcement are the parents of skill. I told that to Gabe. He did three. I said, "Well, how'd you do?" He said, "Well, it sounded like I read every single word," he said, and they could tell. I told him repetition and reinforcement are the parents of skill. He didn't do good on his first three, but if he keeps at it, I was taught that you have to be that you are bad until you get good in almost everything new. It just is the way it is. You
What
have
do
to
they
go through.
say? Fall forward, fail forward, right? You got to
Yes.
fail forward. Like, who cares? Who cares? Just do it. We're all out here. Chip, I see you unmuted. Chip, I'd like to give you the opportunity to jump
Well,
in and share, please.
thank you, Christine, and shut me off when you need to. I always watch for what's going on in my brain when somebody's talking. I enjoy Dave speaking. I'm going to talk to Dave for a second, but I'm going to be watching Ed Kwaski's face. Dave Gilday, you would think if there's that many realtors who could be in a Vini working Boca Raton, surely there'd be one on this call.
Oh, that's what I thought.
There's Ed Kwaski, a realtor specializing in Boca Raton. But this is what I thought looking at my screen here, and I'm looking at the horsepower in front of me here. I've had a line for a long time. Avini comes from smart and attracts smart. Guess what? It also comes from business savvy and attracts business savvy. And then I started thinking Carol Witt. Carol Witt's helping people get started in some sort of a business in 77 countries. And then I got to thinking Carol Witt's kind of like a one girl Shark Tank, right? Where in a way you kind of got, billionaire investors in interviewing someone and seeing the nature of what they're doing, what they'd like to do, if they've got any progress on it at this point. And then I started looking at the screen again and I saw, okay, there's Carol Witt. She just got that huge award. Christine Rolando, she evaluates some of the most valuable horses in the world, plus all the other stuff she does in the nonprofits. Dave Gilday, had his own roofing business, networking success every place he went. Ed Quasti, realtor in Boca Raton, Florida, and a Vini distributor. And Ray Schuland, exotic engineering and exotic cars. I mean, super smart, business savvy people. And they're out there doing this Avini edition of Shark Tank, interviewing people to see if they would be the winner of the show. That's what I got.
I love that, Chip. That just resonated with me. The Avini Shark Tank, right? We're interviewing people. Like Dave said, Dave and I are like, because we want to do fast, right? We want to go, so we're in the sorting business. We want to find the people that need our help or want our help. Well, anybody want to ask Dave a question or Chip a question? Please feel free to unmute if you want to put your hand up. We still got a few minutes. Anybody? Comment? I mean, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. So, okay, Richard Zimmer, please unmute.
Yes. Dave, would you please send me your realtor script? I love you, brother. You've helped me so much. You inspired me with the first script you gave me. I can't say enough. Thank you.
You bet. Christine, is he in your organization?
I have his contact. I'll send it to you.
If okay. Well, I was going to send him to you, but okay, that'll be fine.
Okay. Beasley, all the way from Haiti. You got to unmute, Beasley.
Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation about the meeting there. Just I'm very happy for that for the partner in the meeting. Just I want to know about the program that you promote there in everywhere in the world. Just how can I do that to I mean to put in office in Haiti to promote the business there in Haiti? What can I do to go up the business in Haiti? Just I need your support for that. How can you help me about that to go up the business to develop the business in Haiti? Just say the Asian people need that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Beasley, we didn't. Tonight was more about the business. Not most of these calls are usually about the product and the amazing products that save lives. Tonight we focused a lot on the business, and I'm glad that you saw that
Mm.
opportunity. Now we're in Canada and we're in the UK now, and we're spreading our wings as we grow. And I love what Dave Gilday said. As Carol, how many countries when they first started out, Carol said, we will get there. One day we're going to look back. Avini's only 3 years old as we grow. So Carol and I will sidebar you and do a call with you separately to kind of strategize because I have a group in Poland, although we don't have, we're not in Poland right now, but we have figured a way out that we can get product there. So we will work with you. Okay. Hannah, you're up. I see you have a question.
Yeah, Dave, I love it when you're sharing all your ideas with us. And in BNIs, etc., which I was one when I had Admiral Concierge back in 2010, 2011. But the chambers also are great resources. And it's what I'm finding with like ServPro that goes in after fires and molds and all sorts of things to clean out the houses and take care of them. Apparently, they work on teams, which I'm just beginning to find out. So, I just share that in your area that there's a ServPro or something, and they for their employees, number one, they want to take care of each other. But then whenever they're going into somebody's homes, that this is something that they can recommend for their individuals. So I'm one of those. I always want to be perfect. I'm perfection to imperfection. And I'm now that I know that they work with teams, I'm now going to be trying to find out who is that key person who's the head of a team in a region. And
Mm.
Great insight. Yeah. That's the reason why we do this is because some little thing might, click and say, oh, I know somebody who does Serve Pro.
yeah. And what
So
about
Hannah,
Affleck?
thank
I
you
mean,
for
I
that
always
insight.
want to ask my colleagues here, what about Affleck?
Yes, we have
Yeah.
Aflac in New York. Aflac came to our lunch, and Amy Warner, Amy did this story about her mom's leg.
Mhm.
We remember we did Steve a couple months ago. We had Steve from I believe from the UK as a guest, and he put together amazing story of and a visual of Amy's mom's leg. Amy saved her mom's leg. They wanted to amputate it, and he put that together. So, and Amy was a past AF person, but she has Aflac people now doing this, and hopefully, I think one of them may be on tonight. So, Chip, or Dave, where I always give our guests the opportunity to give us a word of wisdom before we leave. So, if you don't mind, Dave, what
I
would you
don't.
like to leave us
Well,
with?
one, I had fun tonight. I want to thank you, Christine, for inviting me. This whole Avini business is really a fun thing. Two is the longer I'm in, the more I realize how huge what we have, both from the technologies, remember, disruptive, enhanced, advanced, all of those words fit and more what we have. It's not the normal stuff. And then when you combine that with the kind of leadership we have and the compensation, if there's anything you wanted to do, Avini can get it for you. I believe that absolutely. It's one of the reasons I'm in. It's one of the reasons in confidence, not without fear sometimes. I deal with fear a lot, but in confidence, I can approach people because I know the value of what we have. And I recommend one last time, come to Boca Raton so you can feel those feelings, especially if you've never been to a summit or anything. Boca Raton will be a neat way to do that. That's it.
And according to Nella, she's down there now. The weather's perfect. So, and so you gotta come and enjoy the nice weather. Chip, you have a comment? I see you're unmuted.
Well, I'm thinking about
Before
Dave's protege today and doing those first 3 scripts. And I don't think it would hurt in that situation to say, this is day 1 for me. And you're person number 2. Thank you for taking time to help me develop myself. And that's pretty cool. I have a little comment about that too, but when you listen to Dave, it sounds like he's saying this stuff for the first time. I've listened to Dave for decades. And when he said, get it down cold so you could deliver it hot, I said, gee, I've heard that someplace before. Probably, right? But when he says it, it really rings true, and he says it with great enthusiasm. Back to that young protege, and this is kind of strange, but I have a tradition in my life. If someone waits on me on their very first day of work, and usually it's in food service, I give them $100 tip. Well, last week I was getting gas and a guy came out and he was dumping all the trash cans on all the places to get gas. And he was doing mine while I was standing there. And he says, well, I'm really not here. I'm supposed to be off, but I had to get this done before I leave. This is my first day. He about fell over, and I still feel great about it. It was just a kind of a cool thing. So I have a strange little tradition in my life, and you're the guy today. So anyway, blessings on everybody. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being interested in what we're doing here in Avini.
Thank you, Chip, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight. What I want to remind you of is that we're here to